What the fuck? Just like, what monster is that? What the? Did you totally miss what type of monster that was? What is a tavern in Greentext? Okay, we'll go with that one.
Hello everybody, Crit Crab here with a quick little Greentext story about one group's rebellion against an overbearing and micromanaging DM. Role post. Join a game of D&D because why not? GM seems cool. Players are all varying levels of autist, but otherwise not horrible people. First session rolls around. Encounter goblins as our first encounter. My barbarian runs up to cleave them in half. Get told to roll fortitude. Why? Just do it. Roll a 13 on fortitude. You inhale a dust that smells of rotten tomatoes. Okay. Never heard of this effect, but whatever. Eventually kill the goblins. Then the DM rolls.
I'm wondering if it's gonna be poison or just rotten tomatoes. Really random, it feels like.
Some dice behind the screen and chuckles. A goblin bursts from your chest. Wait, what? You breathed in the spores of a goblinoid, which you...
What the fuck? Just like, what monster is that? What the? Did you totally miss what type of monster that was? Just freaking barbarian runs into cleave them in half. Oh, encountered goblins. So a goblin, that freaking goblin spores that smell like tomato. All of a sudden they're like freaking, they're like the frog things. I can't think of the name right now, but they have like spores, and like and they lay eggs in you and like they erupt from your body. What the? Okay, that's crazy.
A dust that smells of rotten tomatoes. Okay. The DM your chest. Wait, what? You breathed in the spores of a goblinoid, which erupts from their body whenever they take damage and has a chance to form a new goblinoid and erupt from the victim's chest. The what? Why didn't you tell? You didn't roll nature. Wouldn't my character have known not to get close to these things? Your character's not smart enough to know what a goblin is. Pissed off, begin rolling up a new character.
Your character is not smart enough to know what a goblin is. This sounds like the DM definitely had this like idea in mind. He was thinking like, this is gonna be so good, this is gonna like make my players scream in horror, and 100% did that. Just like a little overboard. Like, yep, you couldn't have known that these were goblins unless like different type of goblins, you know what I mean? Like, but maybe it was like a different type of goblin, just like a different species of goblin. Yeah.
This time I roll up a ranger with above average intelligence, with goblinoids as a favorite enemy. DM
smart. Right? Now we're thinking.
Looks annoyed for a moment, but lets it slide. Think nothing of it. Get ready to be integrated into the party properly. Things go off without a hitch. Nobody tries attacking me or stealing my stuff or whatever. Get welcomed with open arms. Go into town for a bit to resupply before heading out towards our next point of interest. Along the way, we encounter some goblins. Oh boy, here we go, .jpg. My turn comes up. I make my attack roll.
Yeah, real quick, the video game that's displaying here in the background, it reminds me of, I'm pretty sure it's Golden Axe. I remember I played it like once. I didn't like own it or anything. I was like over at a cousin's house, but that's what it reminds me of. Kind of walk around and you're just like, you know, somebody has a bow, somebody has an axe. You're just walking around killing monsters. That's pretty cool. I had like a chimera back there. Let me go back a little bit.
Goblins. Oh boy, here we go, .jpg. My turn comes up. I make my attack roll. Your bonuses don't apply here. What? Excuse me, you clearly said that these were goblins. Your character doesn't know that though. Besides, they aren't actually goblins. The what? Yeah, people call them goblins, but they aren't actually goblins. They're a variant of the orc subtype, and you're telling me that my ranger that lives in the woods and fights goblinoids wouldn't know the difference? Of course, because he isn't smart enough.
Why? Okay, I want to hear why he isn't smart enough. There's a big difference between a goblin this big and an orc that's that big, unless the orcs are like this. So maybe orc parent and a goblin parent's kind of, you know, did a thing, and now you got orc like that, but I don't know. Here.
Now I'm pissed, but I hold my tongue, do my attack roll anyways, and we kill the party. If the other players are mad, they aren't showing it. Most are avoiding eye contact or fidgeting in their seats. Campaign's hitting critical overdrive, so I decide screw it and start having fun with the DM. After a couple more encounters with goblins, one of our melee guys got killed from breathing in the goblin dust. Later, we make it to town and are beckoned by a young woman. An elf, of course. Am I smart enough to know what an elf is? What? I'm asking, am I smart enough to know what an elf is? Everyone's looking.
Okay, I really like this player. He's been thinking, he's been screwed over twice and he's had it adjusted both times, right? First time, he's like, okay, I'm going to do a ranger. Favorite enemies, goblins. No way you can trick me. And now he's like, I know what's up. Do I know what the hell a freaking elf is?
At me funny, but I don't care. I've long since stopped caring. Yes, you know what an elf is. Cool. Elf beckons us towards a tavern. Am I smart enough to know what a tavern is? DM tells me yes. I say cool in response. So you guys walk through the door. Am I smart enough to know what a door is? I can see the faintest outline of a vein on the DM's forehead as he curtly replies, you know what a door is. Cool. Anyways, you're...
Yeah, 100%, right? You can understand, like, if the DM tells you, hey, you don't know this creature that is from space, you know, maybe play Spelljammer, and it's first time encountering it. But if the orc was no different than another orc, and if it was still, and you couldn't tell that it was not a goblin, like, then that's on the DM, right? So I think awesome job on the player there for getting him some shit.
You're all led to a table. Do we know what a table is? One of the other party members asks. Yes, you know what a table is. And you sit down. What's sitting? Another party member asks. You know how to sit. And when you do sit down, she asks you, what's a question? Another party member asks. DM is noticeably pissed, but the mood has become much lighter than it was earlier.
Yeah, 100%.
Every word the DM asks is interrupted with questions on whether or not we know what it is. Meanwhile, we're all still laughing like idiots. The DM eventually told us over Facebook that he was canceling the game for the foreseeable future and then deleted us from his friends list once someone asked, what's a Facebook?
Yeah, I think the player did that fantastically, and everybody, I only imagine the only other reason why everybody else kind of went along with the player, because like he was in the right. They probably noticed it too, and the DM just like leaving and being like, I'm out, like goodbye, and not really trying to talk to the situation probably it's a really good sign that it was just the DM, right? He had a certain idea of what he wanted to do with the game, but it just didn't make sense for how the game is actually played.
End post. Well, for one, that was hilarious and makes me come to realize that if the game's bad and you can't or just don't want to leave, why not have a little bit of fun with it? I also wonder how these stories would end if more people tried to flip that guy's agenda by deliberately trying to out that guy that guy. But that's all in speculation. If you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more stories just like this one. Till next time.
Yeah, that was great. Maybe I'll make a character like that.